In front of the police station, a Filipino man in a yellow polo stood with his hands open, trying to explain himself in halting English, while a white officer laughed right in his face. The dad's eyes were wet, his voice shaking. Behind them, young officers and bystanders watched with their phones out, some shocked, some amused. No one moved to help. It looked like a joke to the cop, just another funny accent story to tell later. What he didn't see was the black sedan pulling into the lot, or the man in a suit stepping out, sunglasses on, already trying to control the anger building in his chest. The dad's name was Dante Cruz, 49 years old, forklift operator on weekdays, Uber driver on weekends. He'd moved from the Philippines 15 years ago, trading comfort for opportunity so his kids could grow up American. He still stumbled over some words, still searched for verbs in the middle of sentences, but he understood more than people thought. He understood tone, especially the sharp one cops used when they thought you were lying. All he'd wanted that afternoon was to pick up his son. It started at the high school. Dante was in the middle of a delivery shift when his phone buzzed. It was a call from an unknown local number. When he answered, a woman's voice said, "Mr. Cruz, this is the vice principal. There's been an incident with your son, Adrian. He's okay, but we need you to come down to the station." Station. Not office, not principal's room. Police? Dante asked, heart dropping. What happened? She hesitated. The officers on scene can explain better, but they're bringing him to the downtown precinct for questioning. They requested a parent present. Dante's mind raced. His son was 17, quiet, into coding and anime, not fights. He paid for a parking spot at the school with his own money from tutoring younger kids in math. What could he possibly have done? He sped to the precinct, knuckles white on the steering wheel, English phrases swirling in his head. "My son innocent. Please explain to me. I want lawyer." The words felt clumsy in his mouth, but he practiced them anyway. When he arrived, Adrian wasn't in the lobby. Instead, a receptionist in uniform pointed him outside. "Your son's in the back, but talk to Officer Reynolds first. He's handling it." Outside, in the sunlit parking lot, Dante saw his boy sitting on a bench near the wall, hands folded, a frightened look on his face. Next to him, a young officer stood stiffly, arms crossed. A few feet away, another officer, Reynolds, mid-30s, broad-shouldered, laughed with two other cops, something on his phone making them grin. Dante rushed toward Adrian. The officer stepped in his path. "Stop right there, sir," he said. "Can I help you?" "I am father," Dante said, "of Adrian. I get call from school. They say come here." Reynolds turned, still half laughing. "Oh, this must be Dad," he told the others. "Yeah, I talked to him on the phone earlier, remember?" He turned back to Dante and exaggerated his words. "You, Dad, come, talk." His friends snickered. Dante flushed but nodded, trying to stay focused on Adrian. "Can I talk my son?" he asked. Reynolds spread his arms like he was being generous. "We'll get there. First, I need you to answer some questions." He cocked his head. "You understand me? Yes or no?" "I understand," Dante said carefully. "I speak English. Not perfect, but I understand." "Sure you do," Reynolds muttered under his breath. Louder, he said, "We caught your son with a laptop we believe is stolen from another student. He says he found it. You know anything about that?" Dante's heart thudded. "Laptop? Adrian no steal. He is, how you say, honor student. Very good boy. Maybe misunderstanding only?" "Yeah, that's what he said. Misunderstanding. Funny how many misunderstandings I deal with from kids who look just like him."
Behind Dante, a few off-duty officers had gathered. One had his phone out, camera aimed low. Explain, Dante said, taking a breath. He searched for the right words. My son, he help classmates. He fix computer, phones. Many times they give him to repair, not to steal. Maybe like that?
Before we continue the story, let me know what country you watching from. Hit the like button if you love this story, and please subscribe if you are new to my channel. Let's continue. Reynolds mimicked his accent under his breath. He help classmates? He fix computer? He chuckled. Man, I should record this. It's like a comedy sketch. Laughter burst from the small group of cops. Dante's face burned. He heard every word. He chose not to react, afraid that any anger would be turned against Adrian. He tried again. Officer, please. I know my English is not good, but I am serious. My son, he is not thief. Look, Reynolds said, wiping a fake tear of laughter from his eye. I'm sure he thinks he's a saint. Every parent does. But we caught him with the goods. That's pretty clear. Dante spread his hands, palms up, a gesture from home he couldn't shake. Can you show me proof? The complaint. Maybe we can talk all together. Calm only. Reynolds put his hands on his hips. Wow, proof, huh? Big word. He raised his voice, loud enough for everyone nearby. Hey, you're doing pretty good, man. Not bad for someone who learned English from TV. A few officers laughed again. One of the young rookies looked uncomfortable, shifting his weight. Adrian, still on the bench, stared at the ground, humiliation written all over his face. Dante's chest tightened. Why you laugh at me? He asked quietly. I try my best. Relax, buddy. I'm just joking, Reynolds said, though his tone was anything but gentle. You people are so sensitive, think everything is an insult. You people? Dante repeated, the words landing like a slap. He opened his mouth, then closed it. He knew if he said the wrong thing now, he might make it worse, for himself, for Adrian. Before he could decide what to do, a familiar black sedan pulled into the lot. Dante recognized it instantly. It belonged to Miguel Santos, the quiet Filipino guy from his church, always in a suit, always leaving early, always a little vague about his job. He only knew he worked for the government somewhere. The car door opened. Miguel stepped out, tie straight, sunglasses on, posture sharp. When he saw Dante and Adrian surrounded by officers, his expression didn't change, but something behind his eyes went cold. He walked straight toward them. Reynolds noticed him but didn't move. Sorry, sir, parking lot's closed off for now. Police business. Miguel stopped in front of him. Up close, he looked like a different person from the shy church friend Dante knew. I can see that, he said. His voice was calm, almost gentle. Which is why I'm here. Yeah? And you are? Reynolds asked. Miguel reached into his jacket and produced a leather wallet, flipping it open with one hand. The gold FBI badge caught the sunlight and flashed across Reynolds' face. Special Agent Miguel Santos, Federal Bureau of Investigation. I'm here in a personal capacity as a family friend, and I've been listening for the last 2 minutes. All the laughter in the parking lot died at once. Reynolds' smirk froze. The rookie officers behind him straightened. One of them, the one with his phone out, quickly lowered it like he'd been burned. Miguel turned his head slightly, looking at Dante, then at Adrian. Mr. Cruz, are you and your son okay? Dante's voice shook. I don't know. They say Adrian thief. They laugh when I speak. I glance at Reynolds, back to Miguel.
I just want to understand what is happening." Miguel nodded once. He turned fully to Reynolds, his friendly tone gone. "Officer, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and for the sake of everyone's career, I suggest you answer carefully." Reynolds swallowed. "Look, Agent, this is just a local matter, which can become a federal civil rights complaint if misconduct is involved. Now, start from the top. Why is this minor being held outside without a parent or guardian present, instead of in a proper interview room?" The younger officer next to Adrian shifted guiltily. "We just brought him in, sir. We were waiting—" "Quiet, Perez!" Reynolds snapped, then realized too late that he'd cut off his only ally. Miguel's eyes narrowed. "And why exactly were you mocking Mr. Cruz's English?" "I wasn't mocking," Reynolds protested weakly. "We were just joking around, trying to lighten the mood." "By repeating his words and a fake accent. I heard you from my car, so did half your colleagues. This precinct has security cameras with audio, correct? Good. That will make verification easier." A few of the onlookers exchanged looks. Someone in the back whispered, "Oh, he's in trouble." Miguel stepped closer to Reynolds, his voice dropping. "Do you know what I do at the Bureau?" Reynolds shook his head, throat tight. "I investigate organized crime and civil rights violations, which means I work with local departments all the time. I know how hard this job can be. I know what real danger looks like, and I know the difference between protecting the public and humiliating a father because you think his accent is funny." Reynolds' face burned. "I didn't mean I don't care what you meant," Miguel said sharply. "I care what you did." He turned to Adrian. "Adrian, tell me exactly what happened with the laptop."
Adrian took a breath, glancing at his dad for reassurance. "A kid in my class, Kyle, asked me to help debug his code. He left his laptop with me during lunch. Security saw me with it in the hall and thought I stole it. They called the officer on campus, who called him." He nodded toward Reynolds. "I told them to text Kyle. They didn't." Miguel sighed. "Did anyone contact this Kyle?" The younger officer, Perez, spoke up. "Sir, I did call the school again after we got here. They reached his mom. She's bringing him down. She said she gave Adrian permission to help her son with his project." Miguel nodded slowly. "So, at this moment, you have no complainant telling you a theft occurred," he said. "You have a misunderstanding and a boy who cooperated fully. Yet somehow we're out here with a scared kid on a bench and a father being mocked." Silence fell. Even the traffic noise on the street seemed to dim. Reynolds opened his mouth, then closed it. The weight of what Miguel was saying finally settled. The rookie behind him looked away, embarrassed. Miguel straightened his tie. "Here's what's going to happen," he said. "You're going to release Adrian to his father immediately. You're going to document exactly what was said out here, by whom and why. And you're going to hope that when Mr. Cruz decides what to do next, he remembers that some of us in law enforcement still believe in dignity." Reynolds' eyes were shining now. He cleared his throat. "Mr. Cruz, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have made fun of how you speak. That was wrong." Dante looked at him, really looked, and saw not a caricature of power, but a man who'd never had to think about how his words landed before. "I forgive, but I don't forget. Next time you talk to father like me, remember my son is watching. Your young officers are watching. The whole world is watching with their phones." He gestured vaguely at the people recording. "You show them what kind of police you are." Reynolds nodded, shame burning in his chest. "Yes, sir." The "sir" surprised even him. As Dante and Adrian walked back to their car, Miguel walked with them. Dante's shoulders slowly relaxed. "Salamat, Miguel. Thank you. I don't know what happened if you not come." Miguel shook his head. You shouldn't need someone like me to be treated with basic respect. Your English is fine, Kuya. They're the ones who need to learn how to listen. Later that night, Adrian would upload a video clip to social media. Not the whole confrontation, just the moment his dad stood there, nervous, and an officer laughed at his broken English, and then the exact second that officer froze when an FBI badge flashed in front of him. The clip would go viral, with comments in English and Tagalog both. But for Dante, the most important moment wasn't the freeze or the badge or the apology. It was when his son looked at him in the car on the way home and said, "Dad, your English was good. You were brave." For the first time all day, Dante believed it.
Thank you for watching to our Badge and Justice stories. If you want to watch more stories like this, click the videos above. See you again tomorrow.